Hello and welcome to New Mexico Day Trips. We are back with a day trip to Pilar, New Mexico.
So we know it's not a, national park. Well, it is a national wildlife area. What is it, Rio Grande Gorge?
It's Rio Grande Gorge, yes. We're
Yeah.
going to go to the visitor center.
So it's a little bit different from places that we've been in the past, but we were just so anxious to get back on the road. We decided let's pick this one because it's predictable. We happen to like it, and there's lots of things to do. We plan to do a little gold prospecting. We plan to do a little rock hounding. I forgot my fishing gear, so we probably won't do any fishing, but that's okay. I can live without it. We will take you to the visitor center there. They have a very nice visitor center, and we will stop by Black Mesa Winery. I don't know if we'll film once we're inside their little shop there because I feel like they're always nervous about us shooting in there, but we'll see. It's just fun to be back on the road, guys. We missed it. We missed it a lot. We've had a lot of things happen to us in the last month, and we're,
We need to get back out in nature to do a little reset.
We need a reset. We need some sunshine. We need some fresh air. We need some blue skies, and so this is our this is our opportunity to do that. So join us on the trip. It should be fun. We'll shoot some time-lapse material for you in just a little bit. So we've arrived at the Rio Grande Gorge Visitor Center, which is above the Rio Grande Gorge and the area in Pilar that we're going to. But it's bright sunshine. It's about noon, so the sun's right overhead. So we're going to go over here in the shade so we can shoot our intro. Visitor Center is open, as you can see.
8:30 to 4:30.
Okay, we will shoot intro here. All right, I'm gonna turn this off for a second so I can set it up.
We made it to the Pilar Rio Grande Gorge Visitor Center, or
Center.
Visitor Center, and this is the front of it. So it's got some cool art on the walls, and restrooms are over here. They have a topo map over there, and then we're going to go inside, and they have a ranger on duty.
So they do have a prolific set of rest center here. They have bathrooms behind us over there that are open 24 hours. The bathrooms here are only open as long as the visitor center is open, but you can always stop here 24 hours, and there's 2 sets of bathrooms, so big parking lot. And it's a good place to visit to get a sense. If you've never been up on the Rio Grande, this is the place that you want to go to get the information so you can have the best possible time on the Rio Grande. So I'm going to go take a look at that. I want you to see the topo map that they have for us that shows the gorge area in context of New Mexico's topography. So we'll go do that first. So that's the visitor center. We're going to go in there in just a minute. Shelley's getting some photos, and I wanted to show you guys this topo map. So this is an area that represents kind of New Mexico from the Colorado border up north, and this line here is the gorge area. So we're at the furthest place down south. We're like right here, right now, but up there is where the gorge starts, and of course it's also the beginning of the Rio Grande Rift in New Mexico. So it's a pretty cool map. There's a couple of picnic tables over here. And then there's a nice viewing area over here. And I don't know where Shelley said she heard somebody that had visited here recently say that it was as green as they've ever seen it. And I think I tend to agree, and I don't know if you can see the river. We will show you once we get down there. But the river here in the end of June is still running high and fast, which is an indication of how much snow we got in the mountains of both New Mexico, but especially Colorado. So it might not even be good fishing because it's dirty and it's running fast. They tend to stay in their little pooled areas and let the food come to them. Because when it's like this, and of course that's Route 68 going by us there. If we continue on north, that will take us up to Taos. Okay, so let's take a walk inside so you can see real quickly the visitor center. They have a good bookshelf, they have souvenirs, and they also have a small museum, which is closed because there's a meeting in progress. So, okay if we shoot in here? Is it okay if we shoot in here?
Shoot what?
Video. Oh, very funny. Yeah, we're not going to shoot up anything. So we got souvenirs. I think we have Shelley's Rio Grande. I do have this fly fishing book by Taylor Street. He's one of the better known fly fishing guides in New Mexico. It's a lot of good books on the area. Nice little fireplace. I've seen that lit when we come up at the wintertime. I haven't come up in the wintertime. So these are all brochures of other places to visit while you're in New Mexico and surrounding areas. I don't know what this is. This looks new. Okay, it's called Bienvenidos, Welcome. Summer in Santa Fe in northern New Mexico. And it's produced by the Santa Fe New Mexican. So also some other things up here. Here's that fun map of Santa Fe. If you ever get to Santa Fe, make sure you get this map because it's one of those maps that's very descriptive of all the special locations that are in Santa Fe. And then up here is the map of the Rio Grande del Norte, which is what we're visiting, and also the national monument in the Orilla Verde, the green corner. So those are two important pamphlets to pick up while you're here in the visitor center. Stuffies. That's that book by Taylor Street that I told you about.
Which one
So
do you
these are
like better?
some of the BLM maps. Pardon?
I said, which one do you like better?
The one that's more square, the one on the right side.
Del Norte?
Yeah.
Okay,
You like that one?
sure.
You can get a different one if you want.
No, I don't. I'm just checking with you.
So these
Yeah,
are
get the ones you
BLM
like.
maps, the 100,000 foot quads. These are also very helpful maps. Now you can get these maps at the BLM office in Santa Fe. They have them there. They have a big bookstore and map service center there. Nice books here. I'm going to jump over Shelley. Shelley found our pins already because we don't have one for this area. Oh, this is different. So these are wildflower seed collections. I haven't seen those. Magnets. I don't know what that is.
I think it's an air cleaner.
Is that what it is? So what's the forest cibola? That's the one that I don't have. And it doesn't have it here either. So I think the only place I'm going to... Oh. It's a nice little guide on... Oh, okay. Do you want anything else?
No.
All right. Well, since I can't shoot the museum part of it, I'm just going to turn off here and I'll wait for you, okay? So we got a couple of Rio Grande del Norte pencils. See if you can see them. I don't have to get them in the light. To add to our collection. Very nice. So we're going to leave the visitor center right now. We're going to head down towards the river into the what's referred to as Orilla Verde, the green corner. And it's this area that's marked on your map here that I showed you before. But the important thing about it is it's BLM land as opposed to either national forest or national park land. So there's freedom to do more things. So we're going to head down to the river. And I think we're going to do a little bit of prospecting for gold in the Arroyo Hondo, and then we'll probably maybe go in the culvert to see if there's anything there. Before we do that, we're going to go to the top of the Orilla Verde, which is at the Taos Junction Bridge, and we'll shoot some drone footage. We did see a couple drone. We're going to shoot some drone footage, and we did see a couple of what do you call them? The borders.
Guardrails?
No, borders, the rafts. They're not rafts, they're boards. What do they call those?
Wakeboard?
Wakeboards. Saw a couple of those. We did see one raft, one of the commercial rafts. So I don't know if this is where they usually launch up there by the bridge. So maybe we'll get some drone footage of them in the water. And then from there, we're going to come back down south and we're going to stop at the Arroyo Hondo campsite. And it's one of my favorites. It has facilities, easy to get river access if you're here for trout fishing, but it also has the Arroyo Hondo, the dry wash that we're going to be prospecting today. So, all right.
We do have another video up about Pilar, and we did come to this visitor center. It's a different time of year, and it happened, I think it was about 5 years ago, so you can kind of see if there's any differences between that video and this video.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you when we get down to the river.
Hello.
Hi there. So this is what I was talking about. This is the concrete launch pad right below the Taos Junction Bridge, and this is where all the river rafting companies come to start their clients down the river. And I'm going to get closer to the river because, like I said, it is pretty high right now. Now, don't let the fact that it's running smooth fool you. There's all kinds of rip currents and eddies and things like that that can trap you. And of course, downriver it gets more active as it gets narrower and there's more rocks. But
Oh yeah,
also along this area is pretty good trout
we
fishing.
have a YouTube channel
Across
called
the way, you
Next
can't
Day
see it right
Trips.
now. You can only see it from the drone. That's where that camping area, that developed camping area that I showed you was. And then here's the
There you go.
Taos Junction Bridge, which has a
Yeah.
history of its own.
Right now,
So just a very nice
semi-retired Shelley.
area. You can see how green it is with the willows all
That's
along
right.
the shoreline.
Lifetime New
Nobody
Mexico.
fishing today, but it
Well,
doesn't
Toby
surprise
was
me
born and raised in
because
Santa Fe.
this would be difficult fishing in
Then
this
he
kind
moved
of
to
water. Certainly,
East-
I don't see, usually you'll see the trout at least jump, and they're not even doing
and
that.
he moved
So I'm
back to retire.
going to take you over here so you can see
I
downriver
grew up
just
in
a
Arizona
little
and
bit.
moved here in 2005.
Day trips, I think. Some day trips I here that have been a blast.
So that the place we're going to from here, the Arroyo Hondo, is not only a favorite fishing spot of mine, but it was a favorite fishing spot of my father's.
Not yet.
Because we knew we could get up here on, on a Thursday afternoon. It was only an hour from Santa Fe, and we could get up here and we could do some trout fishing right along the river. And it was just, it was pretty good back then. That's back in the olden days when our limits were 12 for the day. And so, missed that. So they've got 3 boats, 3 full-size rafts, and 2 smaller, whoops. I didn't bring my walking stick. And they've got the 2 smaller kayak-sized rafts as well for individuals. So, but we saw them picking up their morning clients, and it looks like they're launching their afternoon clients right now. So they're all registered, they're all licensed, they're all the experts, they're all certified, so you're safe with these folks if you decide to come down on the river. This must be their morning adventure. So that means they came from further north down the river. Now the waters above this area tend to be a little bit more challenging with rapids and things like that. So that requires a more experienced, although all these guys are real experienced. Los Rios. And Los Rios. Stay here. The New Mexico River Adventures, the orange boats, are starting to launch. So they'll start to get in here. Now these guys will just wait until their van comes in to pick them up. They'll load the people, load the boats, and they'll head back to their starting point. Where did you guys start from?
You guys know where it's called? John Dunn Bridge. The Dunn Bridge, yeah.
Oh, so the John Dunn Bridge is north of Taos, and the John Dunn Bridge has a history with a Forrest Fenn treasure because there was a book about John Dunn and his adventures in Texas and New Mexico. And he actually owned the bridge, and he used to charge people for crossing it. And then he had the money necessary to go build a bordello and a bar in Taos, and that's where he made his fame and his fortune. So, but again, that bridge is north of Taos, and it takes you through some of the more adventurous waters if you're coming from that direction. We actually have a video from that area as well because we were up there. So I didn't expect this to be a river rafting video, but it looks like that's what we're getting, and I'm okay with it. I should probably put the drone up here. So these folks will head downriver south from here, and they'll take their boats out just above Pilar before the river reaches State Road 68. And again, there is one stretch of more adventurous water, but it isn't bad. The more adventurous waters along the Rio Grande are basically between here and the John Dunn Bridge. So, great way to enjoy yourself on the river and the safety of certified professionals and the comfort of one of their nice rafts. So, one of the cool things about this area is that ever since I can remember, there was this water flowing through here, and it's always flowing. I never remember it not flowing, even in the driest of years. And we don't recommend that you drink it straight from there. We have a life straw, which is a straw that's designed to protect you from all the things that can be in water like this. But if you just want to wash down, this is a good place to take a shower. I think what we're going to do is we're going to collect the material that we're looking for, bring it back here, and wash the nugget bucket out right in this area so we don't have to even go in the river. So this, as you can see, flows under the road and then into the river down there. So let's head up to where we're going to stop next at the Arroyo Hondo. So we're parked at the Arroyo Hondo campground, and there's lots of facilities here. They have campfires both on the ground and above the ground. They have picnic tables, and they have facilities. So there are probably 3 or 4 of these campgrounds up in this area, exclusive of the big one that I showed you down by the Taos Junction Bridge. But the reason we're here, and the reason they call it the Arroyo Hondo campground, is right here. as I step over on the other side of this sagebrush and stuff, you'll see that down there is the Arroyo Hondo. And that is a dry river. It goes up there under the road and up into those mountains right there. And Shelley has actually been part of the way up there. We filmed her with a drone going up there. And then of course down there it empties into the Rio Grande. Now the only time it carries water is when it's very, very rainy or when there's a big snowpack and it melts. But we're going to sample this with the nugget bucket. And then I think what we're going to do is we're going to take it back to that water spigot that we saw, and we'll probably wash it out there unless it's easy to get into the river here. The river, as you can see, is running pretty high. Let's walk down in that direction. Viejito's going to hold Shelley's hand. But when you come up here, one of the nice things about it is they've developed it so that there's actually steps. Now that doesn't mean you still can't trip and fall on your butt, and I know because I've done it. I just need something to balance on because I've got one hand on the camera. And of course what I'm trying to do is not only not fall, but not pull Shelley down with me. Okay?
Yeah.
So I guess we could have come down there. There's a walk. So, wow, it is really running high and fast. So I want to be quiet because we have some campers up here as well. So, you know what? I am not going to go down here without a walking stick because I don't need to. Well, we do eventually if we want to get to the Arroyo. But let's go do that. I'll get a walking stick and I'll get a bucket to collect some material. How's that?
All right. There's a tent right there, so.
Yeah, there's a tent right there, so we don't want to disturb these folks. Okay, let's go back up the steps to the truck. New camera's on. Take off. Now you probably can't hear it, but I can. I'm going to look upriver, see if I can see those guys. See if they're not coming in my direction. Oh, there's one right there. I'm going to head towards the river. I'm getting pushed around by the wind. You can see one rafter there and a small two-person one. That's called an alpaca raft. Very compact. It'll literally fold up and you can put it in your backpack, but it's very sturdy. It's used by a lot of individual explorers. Let me turn around and see if I can see any others coming down the river. Nope, nothing yet. So that's looking north. That's where we were when we were with the river raptors up there. So, all right, let me give you a shot of this area. I'm going to turn the camera down and I'm going to get pretty much over us right there. I'm getting the shade here. All right, and let me back up just a little bit. So right in the middle, you can see the Arroyo Hondo, and how it, I turn it slightly this way, you'll see where it drains into the Rio Grande. But if we turn up this way, and you can see it's all dry riverbed with lots of round rocks. I'm going to turn the camera up gently so you can see up the arroyo and see how far up it goes. So there's the culvert going through across the road, and as you can see, it goes all the way up into the mountains. So, and there were placer deposits identified here in the late 1800s and 1900s, so I'm hoping that we do the Toby Eunice senior test and we find ourselves some gold down here by where it dumps into the Rio Grande. So again, I'm going to spin towards the river and then I'm going to back up and give you a shot of the campground as well. Okay, so we're just going to back up here. Probably the best way to do it. You got some more river guys going by?
There was a whole parade a minute ago.
So I can fly up. I'm only at less than 200 feet, so you can't see it all, but once I get higher, you'll be able to see the full campground. On the left side is my black truck, so I'm going to get right over it, so it'll be centered over the campground basically. And I'm going to turn a little bit to the left and kind of swing over that way. See if we can get the entire campground in. So that's the entire campground there. You can see there are several camping spots with picnic tables, with fire pits, so it's nice and safe. Got some other traffic coming in. I'm going to guess they're meeting up with those single rafters that Shelley was shooting just a few minutes ago. Okay, so real nice campground. It's the Arroyo Hondo campground. When the river is a little bit lower, it is a great place to fish. There's, I don't know, 10 or 12 spots from just north of where I'm standing to further south of where I'm standing that are great spots to fish in. I'll show them to you now. I'm going to get over the river and I'm just going to fly downriver for just a little bit. So that's Shelley and I standing near the edge, and we're going to do a little bit of a right turn here, and you can see how many places along here there's worn paths. You know, people have used the paths to come along here to fish. We'll go down just a little bit further downriver, and you're going to see where there's a break in the water. Sometimes when it's full like this, you can't see the break, but there's an island. There it is. So there's an island, and that cut in the river between the island and the shore is a beautiful fishing spot. So, and when it's not running as fast as it is right now, you can actually cross it with your waders on. So a nice, beautiful area to be fishing in. So, all right, Arroyo Hondo campground on the Rio Grande in Orilla Verde, which means the green corner. I'm going to bring us back home, all right? So what the drone does is it spins around so it's facing the direction from which it came, and it'll fly back to where we are along the top of the river. You'll see the campground come into focus again. There's the Arroyo Hondo campground, and that's my black pickup truck at the top. And you can see Shelley and I in that triangular space right in the middle. because that's where it's going to land. That's where it took off from, and that's where it's going to land. So we're still at 220 feet right now, and we're right over target. So I'm going to step to one side here because it's going to land around 6 feet away from me. That's me you see standing there. 55, 40. And we're down. Okay, so we're in an area that's camping reserved, and so we had some folks ask us if we were leaving soon. We told them that we were just going to go collect some
Lock the car. Just
pay dirt. Nobody's going to steal my car. Collect some pay dirt, and then we're going to head out, and they could have the spot because what they get is this fire pit, this table, that fire stove there, and they're close to the water closet. So we want to make sure they can get that. And so we're going to go up here and we're going to walk down into the arroyo, which is pretty straightforward from this point. I don't feel like I need a walking stick, but who knows? I got my grippy hiking shoes on, and there should be a lot of obsidian here, and you can already see it. So as a byproduct of the basalt. So lots of obsidian. Basalt on the sides over there. But where we want is this little spot over here. So a lot of volcanic style rock, from tuff, volcanic tuff, to the basalt, to some granite, but as you can see here, a lot of obsidian unbroken. So we're going to move a couple of rocks here, and there are some nice ones. So you'll see here some of the stuff that we look for. There's red material, there's iron staining, there's quartz. You know, a lot of the stuff that is brought down from the mountains, and it's very likely that if it's bringing down all this other material with it, it's bringing some gold with it. And if it's got gold with it, it's going to be just at the end of this tail. So there's our fresh water spigot. I think that's it, guys. We're headed back south towards Espanola, Santa Fe, and then Bernalillo. But I feel like we got a lot accomplished today. Should make a nice New Mexico day trip, don't you think?
I think so.
And also a garage prospecting. So I'm only going to show you a little bit of us collecting material on New Mexico day trips. If you want to see how it turns out and whether or not we find any gold, you're going to have to go watch garage prospecting. Okay?
All right, and it was a great day to get outdoors. It's almost always a great day to get outdoors in New Mexico, so
it is.
let's explore.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching.